This alpha predator of yours, Doctor. Do you really think he has a chance?
The arrogance of man is thinking nature is in our control, and not the other way around. Let them fight.
Welcome to Zach and Jay's Ticket Stubs, Episode 2. This week we're reviewing Godzilla. So if this is your first time showing up to our podcast, basically, myself, Jason, and the occasional few guests get together and discuss a movie together. So this week we're discussing Godzilla. So guys, if you want to introduce yourselves.
What's going on? I'm Jason.
I'm Shaquille. I was on this last time.
I'm Cammy. Just kidding, I'm Darren.
What's going on?
So before we actually get to talking about Godzilla, are there any casual movies that you guys have been watching? Anything just like on TV or anything like that you guys have been watching over the week?
You go first.
Okay, well, I actually remember there's a few more things since the last episode that I've watched. And the one thing that we watched, I've been watching old TMNTs. Okay. 1990s live action. First one and the second one. Mm-hmm. Rad as hell.
Why just the first two?
Because I couldn't find the third one on YouTube.
Why are you watching it on YouTube? You should watch it on the
a VHS?
No,
VHS.
You should get it off of websites that give you
movies.
Yeah.
I was about to try to find the third one, and then I saw a bunch of people saying that it was really, really crappy. And
no, okay. I love every single Team movie. I have seen all of them so many times, and one's great, two's great, and then three's
over.
Three's something. Three's not bad, because people go into high expectations, but number three isn't bad. Three's pretty good.
Yeah.
For a kids movie, go into thinking.
I mean, yeah, that's what people forget. It's like they're kids movies.
I mean,
like
two is pretty bad too. Think about it.
Yeah.
Like two.
I mean, the one problem that I had with two, that I was thinking, like, as I was watching it, as I was like, first off, there's not a lot of fighting.
No.
And second of all, when they do fight, none of them use their ninja weapons, except for Donatello. He used his bow staff like once or twice, but Mikey never used his nunchucks. Leo never used his katanas, and Raph never used his sais.
Well, that's the one problem with Ninja Turtles, was that in Ninja Turtles, Leo never uses his swords.
Yeah.
Because they're freaking swords.
Yeah, because they're swords. You kill somebody with
that's why he either like throws them away or he always loses one of them.
Yeah.
But in the first Ninja Turtle movie, dude, the Foot Clan's hideout was like every kid's dream. It was like a skate park, and they had, like,
it was so good.
It was full of pizza.
The arcades.
And, like, weed. And when they just hang out all day, eat pizza, smoke weed, smoke cigarettes.
And then just like all the arcade cabinets and whatnot. And they had billiards.
Martial arts.
Yeah.
No, two though. Because number one, if you remember this, because you watched it recently.
Yeah.
They replaced.
They replaced April. Mm-hmm.
Now, the question is, who was the better April O'Neil for the second one? Because the second girl was in
the second and third one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think as overall, at like playing April O'Neil in general, she was a better reporter in the second one.
Yeah.
She was a really good reporter.
Which
is what April's supposed to be.
I can't remember because I think something I was watching recently, maybe it's a show, but the lady who plays April O'Neil in the second one and third one was in the show I was watching.
Really?
I don't remember what show it was, but she looked pretty good.
Yeah, she looks really good in those movies.
Yeah, so. Yeah.
But, I mean, the first one wasn't bad. The other problem that I have with the second one, didn't bring Casey Jones back.
He was in 2, wasn't he?
No, he was not.
He's in 3, though. Was he in 3?
I don't know if he...
No, he wasn't 3, because 3...
He was in 3?
Yeah,
because he wasn't in 2.
Yeah, he was in 3, because when in 3, Wait, hold on. He's in 2.
No, he's not.
Isn't 2 when they go to the farmhouse?
Mm-mm.
That's in 1.
That's in 1.
Okay, well...
The first one is, the first one is where they introduce Casey, and then they don't bring him back for the second one.
What?
Is there something you guys want to say?
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, because 3 is when they switch, like they go in the past, and they get swapped.
Yeah.
The samurai gets swapped with
the ninjas. The Ninja
Casey
Turtles.
Jones is there, and Sue are taking care of him.
Oh.
Samurai, yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, because I never saw this. Yeah, but he was
Three-
like
three's
one of the
good,
best
though.
parts about the first one.
How many were there?
It was Casey
There are
Jones.
3 live action ones, 1 animated one.
Well, is there just one? I thought there was a second one. And then there's the new live action one coming out.
One.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I've only seen one. I don't remember.
And then there's the new
I
live
didn't
action.
even know there were 3 of them.
Yeah, there's 2 is Secret of the Ooze.
2 is the one where they give ooze to like a rat and a dog,
Yeah.
and like they fight the turtles fight them.
Okay.
And then 3 is when they go back in time.
Yeah.
And it's like super dumb, but
It's a kid's show.
It's Giant Turtles finally expected.
Yeah.
So
I think it's,
No, it's
They
done
like-
with Super Mario Brothers movie.
yeah,
I haven't seen that movie.
Have you?
bad.
Yeah, I know it's bad. I just haven't seen
I
it.
just remember watching it a long time ago, and I was like,
Can't be as bad as that Street Fighter
it's not my
movie.
childhood.
The Street Fighter movie is
Pretty bad.
pretty good.
But
I don't know,
I-
that
the one with Van
movie-
Damme?
Street Fighter movie. Okay, here's the thing. Street Fighter the movie, a live action movie with Van Damme
Mm-hmm.
and floating bison that looks stupid.
I remember that.
Which he didn't float until he got shot. Which is dumb.
Yeah.
But I would rent that movie from the military base. This like hole in the wall movie rental place. I rent
Right.
it literally every week. My dad would like give me movies to watch every week, so he's always gone or something. I would watch a movie. Literally, I would pick that movie and some movie that I've never seen before. So like that and RoboCop, or that and like some Jackie Chan movie.
Yeah.
I would watch that dumb movie. I had memorized Van Damme's speech
Yeah.
when I was a kid. I remember the end of it's pretty good. It's like, we're going to go down there and we're going to kick Bison's ass, or something like that.
So
I
good.
forgot what it is now, but
He was talking to Cam.
Van Damme.
right?
he's talking to his whole
Yeah.
military.
Yeah, he had like a whole platoon of
He
people.
was like in a river or something.
Ken and Ryu were like thieves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would...
And there's nothing to do with their character
Ryu's a
types.
freaking honorable man.
Yeah.
And Hadoken was horrible.
Yeah.
It was like...
Do they actually show Hadoken?
He puts his hands to a guy's chest and goes...
Hadoken!
No, I don't think I say Hadoken.
Ah.
Does he say Hadoken? I mean, the Shuriken is horrible.
Have you been watching the Machinima Street Fighter Assassin's
it was
Fist?
bad.
Oh, dude, I
It
watched it. It was
Well,
pretty
okay,
good.
well, here's the thing.
It's pretty good. I watched the first 3 episodes. It's pretty good.
The Machinima stuff, I think, is really cool. The Mortal Kombat was... I hate Mortal Kombat, but I think the Mortal Kombat...
I didn't watch Mortal Kombat,
But
it was good.
Yeah,
Legacy.
that was good.
I haven't seen the second season, though.
They have 2 seasons.
There's season 1, season 2 of Mortal Kombat Legacy, and then there's the Street Fighter one.
Mm-hmm.
But
Assassin's
maybe
Fist was not that
probably
bad.
because I hate the way Ryu looks. I think Ryu and Ken look dumb.
Ken looks really dumb. Rio doesn't look that bad, but Ken looks really dumb. I don't like him. They gave him like the like alpha look, where he has like the super long hair. It doesn't look good. I'd rather have him with like the medium shaggy hair.
Yeah. Well,
But-
Alpha's cool, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean they do still have the original Doji and all that stuff. So I mean it's not that bad overall.
What you guys? What you Darren watch any movies recently? Any sweet move flicks?
Any sweet ticket stubs you got?
No.
Plug
I
by.
also watched RoboCop.
You watched RoboCop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one?
The newest one.
It's not.
How was that?
What are you,
It-
a douche?
It wasn't as bad as I expected to be.
Yeah.
I mean, but it wasn't that good because towards the end they just started like having these like crappy CGI, like they just
Oh, yeah.
rushed everything at the end. I'm like, this
Yeah.
is stupid.
I didn't like because I mean I have my whole that's a whole different episode for me to complain about RoboCop. But like
Yeah.
just like his hand and
His
his
suit-
face.
Yeah.
And like the explode, I just stuff like that. I didn't really want to see it at all.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'll watch it eventually at some point, but
Hmm.
other than until then, I'm not dying to see it. You know,
Yeah.
I was excited to see. I was gonna see it when it came out in theaters. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go see it. I was with one of my friends at McDonald's. Like, oh, it came out. Let's go watch it. And I was like, and he said, no, I want to see it. And we went home. I was like, yeah, I don't want to see it either. I never saw it.
No.
So.
I still haven't seen it either, so I have no idea about
Obviously, it has no real like value. Then obviously,
it. Yeah.
but it's PG-13, so why would I see it?
It's just one of
Is
those,
it
like,
PG-13?
cheap-
Yeah,
That's
They
dumb.
brought
It should
down
be
to
R.
13, yeah.
It's just those cheap
RoboCop's
entertainment,
R. It's
like-
what's supposed
Yeah,
to be.
well, it's
entertaining,
like they
like-
took. Well, I feel like they took a good movie, like a good like science fiction like thriller movie, and made it like a summer action flick.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's how
but
it
in,
was.
they came out in
Yeah, in February,
yeah,
which
but
is
it's like they made like an action movie, which is like not how RoboCop is.
Mhm.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
speaking of bad movies, which is RoboCop 2014, I remember I saw actually on TV like trailers for it again or something I saw on TV. The 47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah.
I've
Remember I told you guys I watched it when
Yeah, I remember you
a
saying
month or two ago. Like I was gonna watch it again a few minutes ago just 'cause I want to see it.
Yeah.
Man, I started it up.
Mm-hmm.
That movie is great but horrible. Like
You have to explain that.
like
Yeah.
I love Keanu Reeves because I know he's a crappy actor in most things he's in.
Yeah.
I know what I expect when it's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a Keanu Reeves movie.
Yeah.
And when he plays a samurai, it's gonna be something stupid.
Yeah.
And like there's like a bunch of like crappy fighting and like sword fighting that wasn't cool at all. Had like the one Asian guy in every single movie, that one Japanese guy who's like in every samurai movie, and like there's a bunch of like Oni things, and I was like, I don't know, it was bad.
No.
Had that dumb tattooed guy from Tumblr.
Oh, I don't even know who he is.
All of the whole body tattoo.
Yeah,
guy.
he's got a skull.
Yeah, I'm tired of that guy. He died.
Was he a Ronin?
No, he was a pirate.
What?
Doesn't he die? Doesn't he only have like 5 minutes of screen time or something?
Yeah, it's like there's not much time left.
He dies pretty fast.
He doesn't die. He just doesn't.
Oh, he
You
just
see him
doesn't
for a
do
second,
it.
then he runs, and like that's it.
That's dumb.
So yeah,
Because they highly publicized him too.
no, it wasn't really Americanized. It was like, I mean, it was cool for what it was, but just the story was kind of like half-assed, and like the execution of what the story wasn't that cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he directed
I can see
it,
that.
No.
Keanu Reeves.
No, he directed
Isn't he?
He directed Tai Chi Man or whatever.
Man of Tai Chi.
Man of Tai Chi.
Which is horrible. I watched
Really?
it.
I
I
didn't-
watched it. Yeah, I watched it when it came out. They web streamed it first before they put it out on Blu-ray and DVD. I watched it, and it was like Keanu Reeves doing very slow, uninteresting karate, and it was like this big. He's like 6 foot something. He's like doing these slow kicks against this like tiny Asian guy. It's like super bad, and like it's about the guy who's like a Tai Chi guy, and he like ends up some Street Fighter tournament, and he like wins. And he gets like more brutal as the movie goes on. He's like, this is against Tai Chi. I should not do this. And it was pretty bad.
That just sounds like too much for me.
I mean, it was bad. So don't watch it.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, definitely bad.
Yeah.
I haven't watched anything else. So
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that I can remember watching, so, yeah. Team NT, though. It was good, though. Okay, so, now that we've gone over the movies that we've watched over the week, let's get into the main argument. The reason why we're all here.
Argument. Oh man, you're already giving me a.
Godzilla 2014.
You're already prefacing it's the argument.
Oh, yeah. Well, I kind of already know how you feel about this, but let's hash it out first.
Who's you?
Jason.
Oh,
You
I
know
think,
who.
I think everyone but you agrees that this movie is a certain way.
That's okay. 3 against 1.
You
I'm
should-
good
you
with those
should go
odds.
First, then.
Okay, well.
What's the first topic or first thing?
First thing we're going to talk about. Overall plot of Godzilla 2014 in general.
All right. Well,
How did you guys feel about it?
Darren, you go first.
I'll go last since I'm defending it.
Alright, let me start out by saying how fucking terrible that shit was. Alright. Let's see, the plot was Godzilla not fighting monsters, just swimming away. Swimming, chasing the monsters, not fighting. Being like, oh, I'm gonna go fight the monsters. And then when he actually gets to the monsters, like twice, they're about to fight, right? Like he punches it once, and then cutscenes. Let's show humans running away from Godzilla. The end. End of the 2 fights. Bullshit. Alright? Alright. And that's about the whole movie, until the last scene where he actually fucking, kills the shits.
Okay.
I think, like, I agree with what you said. I totally agree with what you said, but I'm gonna put it in different words.
That was the.
Good description.
I'm gonna put
It's great that I want to use
it was
this professionally.
It's Godzilla, but 3/4 of the movie, it was him, like, being followed
Yeah.
in the ocean. So
Yeah.
that was really disappointing. But, I mean, I can see, like, people were talking about, oh, Godzilla is more the human aspect to it, but then I'm thinking, it's called Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's supposed to focus on Godzilla.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't like it at all. That was a horrible movie. But, like, my points are, like, I wanted a monster movie, and I got a really crappy movie about people who were not interesting at all, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And, like Darren said about how he just, like, is just, like, tracking Godzilla. Like, why would Godzilla let them track him?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's a monster.
Yeah.
Like, freaking kill the people. That's different. That's more plot stuff, I guess. But, like, just dumb things that didn't make sense, even in Godzilla universe, didn't, like, happen. That just pissed me off about it. So.
Yeah. Okay, well, overall, the plot.
Don't you get that still, by the way?
Oh, no. That was just the outline. But I
Yeah.
already have...
Oh, okay.
I already have that. That's
Okay.
mostly just the script.
Let's just edit this.
But,
No,
for the overall plot, I agree with you guys on the human. That's I always agreed with that. The human aspect of the movie is terrible. It's not why I watched the movie.
About this particular Godzilla movie, nobody can disagree with what I'm about to say, that the fact that these human characters had absolutely zero development.
Yes.
You didn't care about these characters at all.
There's one character that did.
Who?
Bryan
I
Cranston.
didn't care about him either.
I cared about him, but he died in the first 30
That's
minutes.
because you care about him because you watched Breaking Bad.
Actually, I haven't watched Breaking Bad. I just thought he was he was the best legitimate actor besides Watanabe.
Sure, yeah, well, that's definitely true. But you learn, I don't give a crap about his character or his life. I mean, his life was sad and moody, but I don't care.
It didn't get any better.
It wasn't fast enough, and then I seeing development in his character. His son was a piece of crap.
I know, he was a distant father, too.
The movie was
really...
the movie was really slow paced, in my opinion. And
well, I mean, it's Gareth Edwards, the guy who created that movie Monster Island, or Monsters or whatever.
Yeah.
And the whole movie, like, Jason's watched it. I've seen trailers of it. It looks like there's barely any monsters in there. Like, most of it's just them trekking.
Well, it's
that movie.
Gareth Edwards, Gareth Edwards, right?
It's Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards, he made one movie prior to Godzilla. A movie called Monster something like that. It's a monster movie where it's people running away from monsters, and it's an indie film.
Okay, I think
it's very similar. He took his movie. He was like, "Hey, I want to make Godzilla. Okay, I can write a script or take my script from Monsters, and replace this monster with Godzilla.
Yeah,
same thing.
Basically, think about it. It looks just like that.
Yeah,
it was like Continue, Zach. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I mean, the part that I liked about it, and the reason why I think it's a decent movie overall, is Godzilla. That's why it's why I went to the movie. It's why I wanted to watch it.
What about Godzilla though? Like, you didn't see much Godzilla.
Yeah, you only see him in the last 20 minutes.
That's not true. You see him a bunch. You just don't see him as much as I'd like.
It cuts away.
You don't see him doing a lot until the end.
No, you don't see him doing anything.
He cuts away.
He walks. And he screeches.
I mean, technically, that's not Godzilla's
when he's
fault,
about when he's about to do
Gareth
something.
Edwards' fault.
Sure, but I'm
he
watching
can't.
a movie about Godzilla called Godzilla.
They had a great opportunity for a fight, but instead of showing it, they showed it on a TV in that little handheld thing, which was dumb.
They had a great opportunity for a good movie, and they missed the ball completely. Don't give me that cool Japanese, like the title screen with like the Japanese kanji or whatever the hell comes in Godzilla, and then give me a crappy American Cloverfield wannabe. Cloverfield was way better in this movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't want to care. I'm comparing it to Pacific Rim, but whenever some fight goes on, even if it's between the other monsters, or the other monster, it cuts away. It always cuts away. Like they fight for a couple seconds, then it cuts away to some irrelevant place.
Well, yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying they cut away from the monsters too much, which I didn't like at all. I thought that was terrible on their part. But when they did stay on the monsters, it was good. You can't deny that. It was good.
I don't think it was good at all.
I thought the final battle between Muto and Godzilla, I thought was on point.
I thought it was horrible.
I thought it was good.
Are we going to get into specific things?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the plot. So yeah, if it's part of the plot, you can get into it.
I think the fact that you don't see Godzilla do anything for the entire movie, it's 90% of the movie is them following a monster or following monsters and stuff is stupid.
I mean, they do monster action. The problem is that the monster action that they do mostly isn't Godzilla. It's mostly Muto doing stuff.
It made me feel like they didn't have the budget to animate more fights.
Yeah.
Why would it be the guy, Ken Watanabe's character, what's his name? Dr.
I don't remember what his name is.
He goes, what's he saying about Godzilla? He's
he's nature's
bouncer or whatever.
Yeah, let them fight or whatever.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
I understand that Godzilla is supposed to come and kind of save.
No, he's not. That's another thing I didn't like. He's not supposed to be the savior of the city or whatever. He's a monster. He's supposed to destroy the city and leave and
I know, and
he's just supposed to wreck shit and leave. That's what he does.
The monster's name was Mota, right?
Yeah, but usually the fact that he's not supposed to be nature's balance. He doesn't just get out the ocean to fight monsters. He gets out and he's destroying the city, and another monster just happens to show up, and then he fights it because they're both in the same area, and it's a territory thing. He doesn't he's like, oh, I'm going to save the city and then leave. No, I'm destroying the city. You're trying to destroy the same city as me. Get out of my city.
I have a question though. Were you more? I mean, it's stupid to say. Are you attached to a monster? But were you more attached to the Muto? Right.
I would.
Okay, first things first.
Godzilla?
I read this on IGN. I'm not sure if this is true or not. I don't think it's Muto. I think it's a new monster they made that has different parts of other monsters. I think, Like, but Muto.
Well, Muto is
the term they use for, right?
Well, I mean, they didn't give it a name. They just gave it Muto.
Was it like that? No,
it was
Muto. What stood for something?
It stood for massive unidentified terrestrial organism.
There you go.
Because it's got the flying aspect.
Yeah.
So
Well, no. Well, they called it terrestrial until it grew wings, and they were like, "Oh, I guess it's not terrestrial anymore." But they still called it Muto, which didn't make any sense. But yeah, I mean, for me, human part was terrible. I thought the monster parts were great. That's the only thing that saved the movie for me was the actual monster scenes. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was
plot-wise, I mean, just story-wise, to me the story was very dry.
Oh yeah, the story was not good.
Very crappy, really badly written, which I called when they announced the movie at wherever Comic-Con like a few years ago. I knew it was gonna be bad. I mean, and then actually seeing it, my expectations were very low for this movie.
Yeah,
and they actually hit it below my expectations. It was worse than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I expected to be a Godzilla movie about Godzilla, not about like some like walking crappy lizard.
Yeah,
that was like super fat and like
it was pregnant.
Whatever.
It was prego.
And like
I know that was dumb. The pregnant monster.
It's about Godzilla being like Godzilla was super fat. I see why Japan was complaining about it.
Yeah,
but and the other monster, the Muto things, stupidest monsters to me.
Yeah,
they looked dumb.
Yeah,
they didn't even look like monsters. They had like no face at all. They had, like just like flat face, like triangle diamond eyes.
I didn't like Muto. I thought it would have been better if they'd actually brought like they would have just brought a monster from the past and had Godzilla fight it. I don't know why they had to make a new
out by making a newer looking model of a monster that looked crappy. It just had a bad design to it.
Yeah,
like Godzilla looked cool to an extent, minus being a little chubby.
Yeah.
The Muto monsters looked stupid, and having them be pregnant did not change anything. It actually made it worse for me.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I thought they kind of looked like the monsters from Cloverfield. The Cloverfield monster.
Yeah.
They might have
he did
copied.
Well, the same tone of like color.
Yeah.
And, like the same kind of like skin texture as like a hard.
Yeah, it was kind of similar. I mean, I don't know.
I thought they were gonna like release some smaller monsters like in Cloverfield for the humans, because humans they're not doing anything, so maybe they'll have.
Nope, didn't do that.
I was also disappointed. I thought there would be like another monster besides the Muto thing, like a completely different monster, not just a.
That's what I thought
of the
at first.
Mutos.
Yeah. I actually thought that at first because I'd been looking forward to this movie for a really long time. So when I saw news about it, I would read it. And one of the news I read was that he was going to be fighting multiple different monsters. And I thought, oh, there's going to be more than just, like, one of these... Because I think I'd heard or seen the clip of, like, the Muto at some point. I was like, oh, there'll be something else besides that. And no, it was just two of the same thing. It was just a guy and a girl. And it was really dumb to me. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, it was...
And their purpose was the mate, right?
Yeah, they were trying to have...
They were trying to... eat all the radiation. That was another thing that didn't make any sense to me. The radiation aspect.
The whole radiation was stupid.
Yeah.
Like, they tried to tie in all that stuff, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
No, that's dumb. That's just bad writing.
Yeah.
Like,
it was a cop-out. Because, I mean, the whole point of Godzilla was that he was, like, the monster that was born from radiation.
It's a bad movie. What's the next thing I want to talk about? Oh, hold on. Plot-wise, though, at the end of the movie, like, the ending, also we talk about the ending at the end.
Yeah, we talk about the ending at the end.
Alright, well, we talk about next thing.
Okay. Well, next thing I had was characters.
Okay.
The only two that I wouldn't even bother mentioning are Watanabe and Cranston.
What about Godzilla?
Well, I wouldn't consider Godzilla a character.
Yeah,
he's a monster.
Okay, so
but
what do you want to say about those guys?
Watanabe, good actor. I thought he was one of the best. His scenes were really good. He didn't have as much screen time as I thought he should, and the way that they wrote him out though, and the lines, the nature's balance thing was really dumb. Didn't make any sense to me. And he was like Godzilla's fanboy, I guess, in the movie.
Yeah, he was.
It's basically what his character was. Which, I mean, like, I'm totally okay with. Like, every Godzilla movie has a character that's like Godzilla's fanboy. Or fangirl. But, I mean, that's basically what he was. But, I mean, for what he was, I thought he played the part decently well. And Cranston, he was just good at his scenes were really good. He only had scenes for, like, the first 30 minutes of the movie. But, I mean, I thought they were overall decent.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right.
His lines were too, like, dramatic.
Whoa. I don't know about that. I think he has the best line in the movie whenever he's like, is Gojira. That has to be the best line in the whole movie. Just saying. Besides Godzilla's 15-second scream, which is pretty dope. Just saying.
I'll write that in lines of the movie. Godzilla's 15-second scream.
I think character stuff wise, I mean the son. What's his name again? Robert. I don't know.
All I have is his name's the actor's Aaron Taylor
guy.
Johnson.
He's from
Military
Kick-Ass.
guy.
Okay, well, Bryan Cranston's son, horrible actor.
Yeah, he's
I
terrible.
don't care what you say.
No, he's a terrible actor.
I think he's getting a career.
He's god-awful.
The military.
He was the son, main character.
Yeah, he was god-awful.
Horrible in Godzilla. The character itself was horrible. His wife was very attractive, but horrible.
His wife was
Why
so
was she
hot.
even in the movie? The whole point of the movie was I have to go find my wife and my daughter, or my wife and my kid. Didn't care at all.
Yeah.
Didn't even care a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston's character didn't care at all.
Yeah.
He served as a plot development to get his son to fight Godzilla.
Basically.
That's the only reason why he was existed in the movie. And that part, I didn't care for him. And yes, he was probably one of the better actors in the movie. Wasn't very hard when you only had two good actors in the movie.
Yeah, you only had two good actors.
And they were both Watanabe and then Bryan Cranston. That's all you had was good actors. Everyone else was horrible.
Yeah.
And I didn't care about anybody. I didn't care about his team dying. I didn't care about any of the humans in any of the cities dying.
His wife was hot, though.
His wife was very attractive.
Yeah, his wife was...
I didn't care about Bryan Cranston dying or his wife dying. I didn't care about...
No.
I mean, I care about Ken Watanabe, but I didn't even care if he died. I didn't care.
That's how I feel. I didn't really care much for the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of them were necessarily served any purpose to make me emotionally attached to any of them. None of them.
Well, they weren't really good at trying to get you, to care about the human aspect.
Totally not good at all.
I mean, because we're here for seeing Godzilla.
Yeah.
I know.
And it's hard when.
Well,
you
I mean,
see
yeah,
Godzilla.
that's another... that's why I feel like they should just drop the human aspect altogether, because people don't go to movies to watch your crappy human dialogue. They go to watch Godzilla fight another monster.
Well, if they're gonna if they're gonna do that thing, people are here to see Godzilla, which they totally are, and they're still gonna write these actors in it, these humans. At least make the humans good.
Yeah, at least make it
lovable.
make me care.
If I don't care about the humans at all, you give me no Godzilla, which they did.
Yeah.
The movie's gonna not be good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And they could have made it shorter too. The movie would have been way shorter
Like I said
if
before,
it was.
90% of the movie is them running around, them chasing to a city.
Yeah.
Just walking. And sometimes that doesn't make sense either. Our friend Keela mentioned how, when they're going to Nevada to find the egg, and the whole back of the mountain's gone. And nobody saw that.
Yeah, and
really?
nobody happened to see that there was an entire half of the mountain.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't see it.
Yeah.
It's
a huge giant
right
monster
there.
walking.
Yeah.
But,
and it's during all the scenes, they like to use the news a lot and have it play and show what's actually happening. When the Muto was running through Las Vegas, crap was on the news. Nobody was paying attention to that until it fucking tore a hole in the roof.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, there's a giant monster, run.
Mm-hmm.
It was dumb. I just didn't like that at all.
But I think if they're gonna... you can actually go next thing. I'll bring this up later.
Okay, well, the last thing I had before we get to the ending was just going over... I'm going to just put this all in one category. Special effects, character designs for the monsters, monster designs. I don't care about character designs. Monster designs, special effects, all that stuff. Everything technical about the film.
I have a big thing about this.
Okay.
At the end, the last 30 minutes or whatever, you hardly can see the monsters.
Yeah, it's super dark.
So dark. I mean, I don't have the most perfect vision, but
well, that
hardly
they made
can
it
see anything.
they made it super smoky too. For no apparent reason, they just had dust and smoke
when
everywhere.
you saw the movie, I even commented this is what animators do to make their job easier.
Yeah.
To add smoke and fog to things, but you see less flaws in the models, and you see less messed up animations. You add fog to it, and they did that a lot in the last fight scene.
And I feel like a lot of the scenes were zoomed in, so you can see the whole fight.
Yeah.
The big picture.
Yeah, they did it a bunch. One of the two good parts about the movie, tail swipe, zoomed in way too fucking much on it, but he tail swiped the Muto and killed it into the building, which still didn't make any sense to me because he just tail swiped it. I don't know why he died unless he apparently got impaled on an entire floor of the building, I guess, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that was a good scene when he did that, and he was oh, he took out one, so now he's gonna just take out the other one, and I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
When the tail swipe, and then my favorite part of the movie which I think you disagree with me, but when he did his radiation blast, it was... I love that scene. Like, when you see it for the very first time, and the blue is charging up, like, all the way from his tail, like, all the way to his head, and then he does the beam. It was so good.
Yeah, it was crappy.
I don't know why
It was so good. I knew you
I
disagree.
like that he did it though.
It was
like,
so
yeah,
good.
other than the 2001 or 2000 shitty Godzilla
98,
with whatever his name is from.
Matthew
Yeah,
Broderick.
Matthew
Ferris
Broderick.
Bueller.
Well, he had to
that
do it.
was so
Like,
bad.
he had to do the beam.
Yeah.
I think the beam was...
The
used
beam's
at-
like one of
at
the
a
more
very
iconic
predictable
things.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But talking about visually effects stuff and like design stuff,
Mhm.
like the characters always had very, very basic designs.
Yeah.
Army guy, which is like, okay, got it, you're army
Yeah.
guy.
You're an army guy.
But
Scientist
and then
guys,
the,
okay,
the
you're a
CG
scientist.
stuff, like Godzilla and the Muto stuff,
Mhm.
Godzilla looked okay. Mutos looked like crap. Like, you can tell
I didn't
they
like the
put- They
Mutos.
put all their effort into modeling and textures and stuff into Godzilla, which
Mhm.
wasn't even that good, but it was still pretty good.
Yeah.
But Muto was like horrible. Just
Yeah.
these flat bodies,
Mm-hmm.
like no texture, like lines, not even good
Yeah.
textures at all. Like, what kind of alien monster is this supposed to be?
Yeah.
It's so far crappy. But I do give Godzilla praise, and not necessarily because it's like the best I've seen.
Yeah.
But they do a good thing where they actually have all the actual sets, like the set in like the last fight scene,
Mm-hmm.
or the last part moving in the city. That entire like landscape thing
Mm-hmm.
was done really well. I think.
Yeah.
Like when the humans are doing their thing,
Mm-hmm.
like the cityscape was crashed and broken down.
Yeah.
That looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
And this modeling there looked pretty cool. Other than that,
Yeah.
everything was crap.
I mean, I like... Oh, yeah, go ahead, Shaquille.
I was just saying, like, I think a really cool part was whenever they were jumping into the city.
The Halo
I
jump?
thought that was like the one cool part.
I
of the
thought it
movie.
was-
I have one thing about
Like-
that, and that's that it looked way better in the trailer
Yeah.
than it did in the actual movie.
Probably
It looks
music.
so good in the trailer.
Probably music.
They
Yeah.
used the music.
Well, no, like even the way that like they showed it in the movie, like they used a completely different like shot for the trailer than they did for the movie. Like the movie, they just showed like them jumping out of the plane, and then it was just them doing that big
Yeah.
landscape shot of them falling down. They didn't show them.
fall.
They didn't show them like they didn't do the like the eagle eye when they're actually like falling, and then they like pop the smoke ring. They didn't do any of
They
that
didn't?
stuff. No, they just showed the big landscape. Well, I mean, I'm not saying the landscape shot wasn't beautiful. It was a beautiful shot when they're all the Halo jumps come down. You see the red flares and they're coming down. It was a good shot. It was beautiful, but just I don't know. I just remember the trailer looking a lot better than it did in the movie.
Yeah,
They
I was
didn't use that
disappointed
for-
they didn't use 3D maneuver gear. So yeah, I thought that was
Okay,
gonna
no,
happen.
you're not. No, you're not bringing that up.
I think that the Halo jump part was completely pointless.
It's pointless, but it
Like
was like
Godzilla, yes,
Well,
Godzilla and monsters
yeah.
were there, but
that's bad.
you could have just walked into the city.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was like the same thing. It was like the scene where they had where I think it was like one of the very first scenes where Godzilla showed up and he like caused the tsunami and everybody went to the rooftops and all of a sudden like all these SWAT people were like on the rooftops and
Shooting
whatnot and
stuff,
they opened fire and I'm like, this monster is like over 100 feet tall.
Yeah.
Probably taller than that.
I think
I'm just
it's
not good
200
with
feet
measurements. I'm not good with measurements, but he's like
He's huge.
quadruple the size of the building that you're on, and you're gonna shoot at him with bullets that are the size of this, and think that you're gonna hurt him. Like, that's just dumb to me. It just doesn't make any sense.
What do you think about the bridge scene? Like,
Stupid.
like there was like you remember all the ships were
Yeah.
converging
Oh,
on it.
well,
and
that scene.
they were
Which
just
scene?
waiting.
Oh,
When Godzilla finally came up, and
Toward
all
the end of the movie, like
all the ships were just waiting around Godzilla, and Godzilla came up and all
Oh,
the
and when
ships-
he did the dive down
Yeah,
and then
they
he
were
went
on
back
the
up,
bridge, and yeah,
that was
how that looked. I
that's
think
what caused the nuke thing, which is stupid.
the what?
That's the whole point of the movie. Well, can we talk about the ending now? Are we done talking about character?
Is there any more thing? I mean, I liked Godzilla's design overall. I know a lot of people said they thought he was too fat. I didn't think he was that fat. Obviously, he wasn't as thin as previous Godzillas, like from actual like Toho Studios. But I mean, overall, I didn't dislike his character design. I thought it was really well done. But like you said, they put all their time and effort into his design and not any into his actual enemies, which should be equally as important to them.
Totally.
Seeing as how he's fighting them, it should be equally as important that they look as well as your protagonist.
Totally. For sure.
But yeah,
I don't know.
well,
I don't know if you guys caught this. Whenever Cranston and his son were going back into his house, like there was a little picture. Shut the fuck up, Shaquille. There was a little picture, and beneath it said Mothra. And I was
Did it?
Did it?
Yeah.
Dude, I did not
Dude.
catch that.
It said Mothra.
That's a
guys.
pretty good little
Oh, I
Easter
didn't
egg.
see
And like
that.
I was expecting like Mothra to like pop up at the end, but that never happened.
Godzilla 2.
Yeah.
But,
No, that doesn't happen.
one
Yeah,
last
okay.
thing before we go to the ending is I just wanted to take a quick second to talk about. I know it's lazy with doing the fog and whatnot, but the scene, I think it was near the end, where I think it was when Aaron Taylor Johnson, ATJ, had just blown up like the nest of all the eggs and whatnot, and Godzilla showed up. And it was like the scene where he was like his head was kind of close to the ground. And he like looked at him with his eye or something like that. And then the smoke went around him and he like kind of like faded back into the darkness. I thought that was really well done. I mean, it was obviously really lazy, but I thought that scene in itself was really good.
Mm-hmm.
That little shot was good. So,
Okay.
yeah, there was, I mean, you could obviously tell that it was like an indie director doing it. There was a lot of like classic indie shots of like the monsters vanishing all the time and cutting to pointless scenes that didn't really catch my attention at all.
Pointless
Stuff like
military.
that, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Pointless narrative, all that stuff.
Okay.
But yeah,
I agree
overall.
completely.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys want to talk about the ending? The final boss
I'll
battle
go first.
between the two Mutos
Yeah,
and Godzilla.
I have something to say about this.
Okay.
Fight. Crap. Ending fight, right? The whole, like I said before, having the landscape be like
San Francisco.
nicely done landscape destruction, but like the actual fight scene with Godzilla like blasting down the Muto's throat.
That was so
That's
badass.
Stupid. No, it
It
was
was
not.
so badass.
Why would Godzilla do that?
It doesn't.
What predator goes, hey, good idea. I'm gonna hold you out like that. That was like purely like dumb writers being dumb. Like he was.
It just
blasting
looks
through
so
the
good
face.
though.
I thought it looked crappy.
I thought it looked
I didn't
good.
think it looked because it didn't explode.
Yeah.
It just like.
Well, he
fell
tore his
down.
head off.
No, he didn't. Did he?
He tore his head off. Yeah.
They just opened it up like this and blasted.
Did he
it
have
No,
to-
he he tore his head off afterwards. Like after he blasted it, it like tore his head off,
Yeah.
and then he
like,
dropped his head
his
on the
like
ground.
neck and thing was like
Yeah.
melting. Like
Yeah.
Did he have to-
Like it like melted his head off, and then he like tore it off, and he dropped it on the ground afterwards
By the
after he
way,
did his
I
roar.
thought the blasting was stupid and honestly pointless. I thought they could have did a blast. He could have used his two blasts. One better done, better angled and better cooler ways than just down his throat was stupid. I thought. And the fact that like Godzilla fought like a bitch. Like he fought.
He
like,
really did. He
It,
fought
and
like that.
also felt the fighting just sucked. It was just a bunch of pushing.
Well, yeah, there was that. Yeah, he
If you
didn't really
if you
fight at
watch
all.
real animals fight, it's intense.
Yeah.
Watching these CG like giant like monsters fight should be 10 times why I see
That
moose
shitty.
fighting.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Moose.
the city should have been destroyed. It should have been wrecked, and it
There was a
wasn't.
bunch of like Godzilla moving slowly, which is
Mhm.
them being crappy animators, I
Yeah.
guess. Slowly moving and just like falling like
Loud
limp-
noises.
Yeah, falling like gingerly into a building.
Yeah.
Like, really? That's
Yeah.
it? Come on.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Thought the ending was bad and horribly done, and the movie as a whole was the same.
Okay, well, what about that ending scene where he rises from the rubble and does his roar
And
Shitty.
and then walks back into the
away.
ocean
terrible.
like an idiot because he should have wrecked the shit out of that
Well, it
city
is-
after he woke up.
And he just
That's
walks-
what a real Predator Godzilla would have done.
well, just
He would have
walks
destroyed
away.
that city.
I don't know about you guys, but I read somewhere that it was going to be like a definite movie, like it's going to be a standalone Godzilla movie, but it wasn't, because like I heard that he died at the end, which was disappointing. I thought there'd be like a super fight, and like it'd show him die and the other monster die at the same time. They like kill each other. I thought that would have been cool, but
Yeah. Better than walking away, freedom.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought the movie was bad too.
What about the ending though?
The
I mean,
ending.
anything about the ending that stood out to you?
I kind of disagree with you because I remember, well, from what I watched,
Disagree with me with what?
about like how Godzilla isn't supposed to like spare the city or something like that.
Okay.
Because I mean, from I know there were a bunch of older movies, but from
Yeah.
what I've seen, people still see him as like kind of like a hero, even though he wrecks the city.
Well, that's after the first one when he actually starts fighting monsters and they start this. Some people will see him as a hero, some people don't, Because, like, the basic military people, that's the whole point behind Mechagodzilla, was that they built Mechagodzilla to destroy Godzilla. Like, that's the whole point of it, like, because they still saw him as a monster. So.
I thought the ending, I thought the movie was bad, but I thought the ending was okay. Was anything
I didn't think
special?
the ending was terrible. I think it could have been a lot better, but I didn't think it was bad in a sense. And, yes, him blowing the radiation down his neck was pointless, but I thought it looked really cool.
I don't think it looked cool, man.
Yeah, I like the final.
Just my personal opinion. I just thought it looked cool.
I like the final fight scene, but I think it took way too long to get to it to that point for them to finally find for Godzilla to kill the monsters, and then the ending when Godzilla turns out to be alive. That was pretty dumb. Where he just goes back into the ocean, cuts to black. Dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Because the point of him being there
it was dumb too.
was because he heard the calls from those things.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he heard their mating calls. I guess is what they said it was.
which they didn't. I don't think they explained also why. Like,
What?
He
Why
had,
they had
why he
made
had
him?
to go there.
Why he heard
He had to
them?
bring balance to nature.
Yeah. Didn't you hear? He's nature's balance.
That's the only thing they said. They didn't say why balance was not. How is him being alive not ruin balance? You know?
Yeah.
Like I hear some other
The fact that he's just sitting at the bottom of the ocean.
And just ruins plot like that. So totally.
Okay.
So I want you go, Zach. You go first about you rating the movie.
Okay. Rating the movie.
It's 1 out of 5. Darren.
1 out of 5.
Or it's Darren, not 1 out of 5.
5-point scale.
5-point scale.
5-point
being
scale.
the best.
Yeah. Well, for me, the movie did, for what I wanted the movie to do, I thought the monster parts were great, the human parts were crappy. So overall, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5.
Man.
3 out of 5.
Darren?
I'll give it a 1 out of 5 for the first 3/4 of the movie,
Total.
and then a 2.
Total
2
movie.
out of 5
So you give it
for
3,
the last
so you give
one.
it 3 out of 5.
So you
Yeah,
give it
I'll give it like a 2.
You give it
Okay,
2 out of 5. Okay.
Alright, Shaquille.
I'll give it a 2 out of 5.
Man, that's generous.
1 out of 5 for Jason.
All right.
I mean, yeah, that's like my most.
Yeah. I give it a 1 out of 5. I thought it was horrible. I thought it was bad in every way possible. I mean, I've seen better indie movies than this, in my opinion. This is a major blockbuster movie. I thought that what it could have done to make me care about people more was to add more death scenes.
Yeah.
Because they showed a lot of rubble and a lot of city
The only person they
destruction.
really showed died was Bryan Cranston.
Well, they showed a lot of city destruction.
Yeah.
But they didn't show people suffering from it, really.
Yeah.
They showed them at the end of the movie, them in the football field and waiting for people. They didn't show people being smashed by the
They
buildings.
kind of show
Everyone-
people die during the tsunami scene, but it's kind of just like a wave passes by and then they move on.
Sure, but you don't really know if they died though. If they showed people being smashed by Godzilla's feet, or the tail swinging, or the radiation that's being poured down everywhere. This radiation happens all the time. I would probably care more about the people and the world as Earthlings or whatever. They didn't do that at all, and that probably wouldn't have saved it, in my opinion. So definitely give 1 out of 5. That was a piece of crap.
Okay.
That's
Yep.
1 out of 5.
Crap. Terrible.
I mean, and I'm not saying it's better than the one from '98 or whatever. I think it's better than that one. But a link of other monster movies that came out in the recent years.
Yeah.
Pacific Rim was way better.
Yeah, Pacific Rim was 10 times better movie than
Pacific Rim
Godzilla
is what
was.
Godzilla should be.
Because it actually made me
Fight-wise.
care about the human character.
Not even
No,
the best.
actually,
I thought
not
it.
even the
I
best
thought it made me
plot.
care about the
I
human
mean,
character.
not even the best character
Yeah.
design, but it's so good.
It-
I mean,
Pacific Rim made me care more about the human characters than Godzilla did.
Oh, sure. But
definitely.
It's not hard,
definitely,
though.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pac Rim, I cared nothing about the main character.
Yeah.
Because he's a horrible actor in
Yeah,
that
he
movie.
was.
That's a different movie. That's a different episode.
Yeah, it's a different
Yeah.
episode
1
altogether.
out of 5, in my opinion. So I guess,
Okay.
generally speaking, on this cast right now,
2.5.
Yeah,
Or 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5.
yeah.
If you somehow get a copy of this, just skip the last 30
go
minutes.
on Dailymotion and search Godzilla 2014 fight scenes. That's all you need to watch.
That's all you need to watch. All you need to do is watch the monster fight scenes. That's
you
all.
need to watch.
Okay,
So,
well, that's it for this episode of Zach and Jay's Ticket Stubs, guys. Thanks for watching and listening, watching, everything. And listen next Monday for our next podcast. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Peace out, I'm Cammy. Peace out, I'm Cammy. Peace out, I'm Cammy. Peace out, I'm Cammy. Peace out, I'm Cammy.